Number 10 says, use your trinomial and GCF factoring skills to completely factor the following polynomials. So I look here to see if there's any GCF, and sure enough there is. 2 goes into all of these, and x squared goes into all of these. So 2x squared is my GCF. So I pull that out, and then what I need to do is I need to divide each term by 2x squared to get the remaining factors. I think a lot of you tend to write this out this way: divide by 2x squared, divide by 2x squared, divide by 2x squared, and that's fine as a way to remember to do that. So what's left is 8 divided by 2 is 4, and x to the 4th divided by x squared is x squared. And there's still a plus. 14 divided by 2 is 7, and then x to the 3rd divided by x squared is x. Negative 30 divided by 2 is negative 15, and then the x squareds cancel. Now, the only thing is that you need to remember to write the 2x out in front, because that 2x squared out in front. You have to remember to write that GCF out, because what you want to write should be exactly the same as this. They should be equivalent. I should be able to graph them and they produce the same graph. Now, what I have left in here is a trinomial. So I need to check to see if that trinomial is factorable. And you use an area model to do that. Remember, area models help you multiply, but they also help you factor. So we're working backwards now. When you have a trinomial, the first term in standard form goes in the upper box, the upper left box. The last term goes in the lower right. And then what goes here needs to add to 7x. The sum needs to be 7x. And they need to multiply. The product needs to be multiplied to the same thing as this. So that would be negative 60x squared. So I need to find something here. Some of you use diamonds for this. But the diamond is just an easy way to write this. That's the same thing. It means you find two things that add to this but multiply to that. And when I'm doing that, I always just start with the factors and go through systematically. I say, well, negative 60 divided by 1, well, that's negative 60. So 1 and negative 60 are factors. Do they add together? Do negative 60 plus 1 add to 7x? No. So try negative 60 divided by 2. 2 and negative 30 are factors. Do they add to 7x? No. So try 3. Negative 60 divided by 3. 3 and negative 20 are factors. Do they add to 7x? No. So try 4. And you just go through consistently. And if you go through consistently, you'll know you didn't miss anything. Do 4 and negative 15 equal negative 7, equal positive 7? No. So try negative 5. Try 5. So 60 divided by 5. 5 and negative 12. 5 plus negative 12 is negative 7. Now, I'm looking for positive 7. So I know that I've hit on something important here. It's just that the signs are opposite. Negative 5 plus positive 12 will equal positive 7, but they'll still multiply to a negative 60. So I just had to switch the signs, and now I've found the two numbers that work. What go here is a negative 5 and a 12, and then don't forget the x's, because the x's are what multiply to that x squared, right? So these two add to positive 7, but multiply to negative 60. Now we filled the inside of our box out, but we need to fill out the outside now. So here you pull up a greatest common factor. That's just an x. And then from here on, you kind of see what you need to multiply by to get the outside. So x times 4x will give me 4x squared. X times negative 5 would give me negative 5x. 4x times 3 would give me 12x. And as a check, 3 times negative 5 does give me negative 15. So I now know that what's here on the outside is good. And now I can write it in completely factored form. I still need to write all the factors. That includes 2x squared, and then x plus 3, and then 4x minus 5. So these are all of my factors. Again, you can check your work using your graphing calculator. You can type in, if you can get it cleared out. Okay. So you can type in the original problem, 8x to the 4th plus 14x to the third minus 30x squared. And then you can type in your completely factored form, 2x squared times the quantity of x plus 3 times the quantity of 4x minus 5. And now let's graph it and see if our graphs match up. So there's the first graph, and now it's still working, so I'm guessing it's graphing on top of it. But again, I think it's hard to tell. So I like to check and see, and look, it looked like it was the same, but it's not. So something's happened here where I've made a mistake, and it's good that I've checked. So one of the things is just check that I typed it in right. I didn't type it in right. So the mistake that I made was that I didn't type it in correctly. So now let me look, and yes. So I did my factoring correctly, I just typed it in wrong. That's where checking can go wrong if you're not careful. Okay, so you do B, factor out a GCF, and then see if the trinomial can be factored. Use your graphing calculator to check your work in the end.